Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Megaquarium. From what I gather of this game, it seems like another tycoon type game. You know, make this museum look like this and generate people so that way they come in and generate income, that sort of thing. I thought it was an interesting game. I've seen it on YouTube a few times. I thought, why don't I give it a playthrough for you guys? So let's get into it and get started. Ugh, they're gonna make me do tutorials. Okay, hover over info button. Do I have to? Where the fuck is it? Oh, this fucking stupid thing. Alright, pan camera. Oh, look. Oh my god, look. The things I could do with cameras. Oh, lord. How do I return to home? Alright, that was fucking annoying because I just had to hit the H key. Build basic tanks. Okay. I think would be the... Yeah. Alright. Build basic filter to each tank. I put it in the tank? Oh, wait, why didn't I just... Wait a minute, hold on a second. Hold on. Can I just sell these? Wait a minute. Oh. Well, that's depressing. I can't get rid of them. Alright, fuck it, whatever. Catch basic heater. Can I not? Okay, I guess I can't. Never mind. It's kind of dumb. You would think that you could attach multiple things, but alright, whatever. Add some... What the... Oh. Some decorations. Gotta make that shit look pretty. Alright. Build an orange pellet dispenser. What the fuck? Am I supposed to put it... Where the fuck am I supposed to put this damn thing? Oh, it's for employees to go grab. Okay. Tool station. How do I hire people? Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, staff window. Where is this thing? Ah! Okay. And open our aquarium. How do I do this? Again? Yay! Your first guest. Now, can we kill him? Is that a thing? You know what? Let's think ahead here for a minute. Okay. Oh. All right. Let's build another tank. Can I do that? Would that work? Fuck it. It works because I say it works. Alright, we can just throw in a couple of these dudes. We need... I mean, I'm honestly intentionally just saying fuck it and damn near setting this place on fire. It's like, ah, whatever. Alright, basic heater. You need to get... Oh, it pushes them out of the way, so they can't be near it. That... Well, that's just one tank of fish that's gonna die. See, this is what happens when, you have me run a place. Because I'm gonna want to max this place out. Add some daddy backs? Is that not what I just... Did I say daddy? Daddy, okay. I can't. Practice moving tanks. Wait, I can move a fucking tank? Oh. Huh. Yeah, it still won't work. Okay. Expand your floor? How do I expand the floor? Okay. Cool. Alright, pause the game. That's fucking difficult. Yeah, that was really hard. Add some orchard dotty bags to your new tank. I did that. I mean, unless they didn't want me adding as many of these assholes I did. Alright, can I get my camera back, please? Please? Camera? Camera, please? There we go. Alright, we want to move this shit, though. Yeah, something like that. And then what we'll do is... I love how it just shoves me out of the way, like, get the fuck out, dude. Alright, can I build crazy big tank? That kind of works. There's no requirements for, whatchamacallit, decorations. You just make the tank look pretty, that's about it. Alright, I'll move the employee shit. Can you get the fuck out of here, please? Go away. Oh, I can move them. You can get the fuck out. Okay. I need people. I'm just gonna hire more. Okay. Do we have more new? Do we have any new fish? Oh, I think a fish died. Oh wait, no, it didn't die. I'm just an idiot because I didn't apply a basic filter and a basic heater. There we go. Okay, cool. So they have what they need. All of my tanks are good to go. I can start throwing fish around. Alright, have at least 1.5 chromis? What the fuck is a chromis? Oh! I was gonna say, how do I have 1.5 of a fish? Do I just take one fish, throw it in the tank, and then take the other one and chop it in half? Kinda cruel. Alright. Satisfy shoulder requirement? What the fuck is a shoulder requirement? There we go. Okay, I didn't understand that. Now I got it. Alright, let's... Yay, we have a new prestige rank. Oh, we got a new fish. Cool. Nifty. Alright. I can't put this new guy... Wait, what? Wait, wait, wait. So... Oh, alright, so he just... Okay, cool. Yeah, let's leave that open like that. Wish there was a way to rotate it, but that doesn't work like that, fortunately. Alright, so we can put that there. How the hell do I rotate you? Oh, okay. Yeah, those are fine right there, those tanks. Alright. Oh, we're out of money. Well, that actually happened a lot slower than I thought it would. Alright, let's, and that's a heater and a filter. Oh, I'm out of money. Alright, so this guy needs... So it's basically best to just have him by himself. Okay. Does it say... Okay, so you can't put them in with fish that are kind of assholes. Alright. Which, by the way, guys, I know haven't really been talking much. I used to work in Petco way back in the day. I was their aquatic specialist for the longest time, for about a good year. I quit for personal reasons. I just wasn't happy with the job. I wasn't happy with the environment that I was working in, and for that I quit. Don't know what the staff door does, but fuck it, YOLO. Yeah, so I used to work as their aquatic specialist. And like I said, I quit because I wasn't happy with the environment that I was working in. I loved working with animals. I loved working with the fish. I enjoyed what I did. I just hated who I was working with at the time. I just couldn't stand the people. And I wasn't happy there. It felt very much like the store I was at least in felt more like a cult mentality. You're either with them or against them, and that was my reason for leaving. I'm not saying that's every Petco, but that's just the one I was working in. And you know, so eventually I quit. During my time there, as I said, I was the aquatic specialist. And, you know, I've worked with the fish. I took care of the saltwater tanks. And some of the things that this game is showing is actually pretty true. There are fish that just can't put up a fight for any reason. They just suck. Honestly, I've learned fish are dumb. Like, I know some people go, like, are you surprised? No, but they are very, very fucking dumb. Sure, as an aquatic specialist, I've made a few mistakes because I was learning. I wasn't really, you know, very adept with fish at the time. I didn't know much about them. I was still learning. You know, I was still learning the ropes of what I'm supposed to do, how do I take care of these fish, etc., etc. And in my time of doing so, I learned quite a few things. For one, if you have crawfish, you know, those little lobster dudes, yeah, they are going to eat whatever they can get their hands on. Literally, if they can grab it, they're probably going to eat it. We had to move the crawfish out of a tank because it had ick. And we had to isolate the tank. We had to, I think, or I can't remember why, but we had to remove the crawfish. Oh, no, wait. We had no available tanks for the crawfish. That's what it was. And we had a big, like, 100-gallon tank that had a bunch of koi fish in it. So we said, all right, listen, the koi fish are way too big for this crawfish to eat. He's a little guy. There's no way he's going to be able to eat it. That fucking crawfish proved me wrong. We put him in the tank, and I left him there. I was like, he's fine. He's just going to mellow. He ain't gonna bother anybody. Gonna be all cool, right? I go back there a couple hours later, and I see this koi fish having trouble swimming. I'm like, what the fuck is his problem? He kind of seems like he's stuck on something. I look over quick, and lo and behold, the crawfish has him by the tail, his tail ends. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's hungry. Why are you hungry? You haven't been fed in 2 days? Guys, what are you doing? Fucking feed them. Hold on, hold on, hold on. These guys are being stupid. There you go. Alright. Anyway. So I see this friggin' crawfish. He's got him by the tail and he's holding him. He's like ever so slowly pulling him in. So I take a net and I like kind of like I gently tap him to scare him and he swims off. The koi fish manages to live. I'm like, alright, good. Come back a couple hours later. Sure enough, again, it happened. The freaking crawfish managed to grab him. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to keep saving you. You're on your own next time he grabs you. So I save him again. I walk away. Now I know most people say, well, why didn't you just move the crawfish? Because we didn't have any tanks. And I'm not going to just leave him out there. I figured, alright, well, this little bastard, he's kind of aggressive. Let's keep an eye on him. So I would pay attention to him. And for the longest time, he'd just leave the fish alone. Went on for maybe good few weeks. He left that fish alone. I was like, alright, cool. All of a sudden, one day I go back, and then sure enough, that fucking koi fish became the crawfish's dinner. I just see this thing on its side, and he's just going at it like spaghetti. He's just slurping up that fish intestine, and I'm like, well, that certainly happened. I was like, you know what? It's fucked up to say this, but that's one less feeding I have to worry about. And unfortunately, it was the kind of common thing that happened. I was trained by people I don't even think knew, or I don't think they knew what they were doing. Because I remember we had, I think the fish was called a Rio de Janeiro. And we had them with guppies. Or, not guppies, neon tetras. And even I myself saw them, like, why are we putting these guys in there? The freaking Rios, they kill the tetras. Now, oddly enough, the tetras were rather okay with them. Like, if I put a couple of, like, goldfish in there, the Rios would go after the goldfish and not the tetras. So it was very, very weird in many situations. Like, they just... they would bother one, but not the other. So I was like, alright, whatever, it is what it is. Also, can't believe I'm saying this, but I had to fight with an enemy, I think it's called. I had to fight one of those little bastards. That was fun. Woman wanted to buy one, and I was trying to use the net. This little fucker didn't want to come up for nothing. I had to kind of like pry it under him. Like I had to kind of like scrape it up. Now, those of you that don't know, it's that weird, almost tentacle-looking plant. They're known to electrocute people if you touch them. Or they're known to give off a shock if you touch them, I should say. And for obvious reasons, I'm not trying to get stung by this fucking thing. So, I'm trying to use the net to just gently pry it up just to get it to move. And it's really being difficult. I'm having a hard time getting it up. And the woman's with her son. She doesn't speak a whole lot of English. Like, she speaks English. She understands what I'm saying. She just doesn't speak enough of it to grasp what I'm saying. Or at the very least, I don't think she cared what I had to say. Honestly, now that I look back at it. And I'm looking at the aquatic plant. And it's not really a plant. It's more of an animal, just the way it acts. Because the fact that it can, it suction cups itself to the bottom of the tank. It can grab hold of fish and eat them. It has some level of sentience. So I'm sitting there telling this woman, like, ma'am, I can't get this fish out. I'm sorry I can't sell it to you because I can't get it out of the fucking tank. And she goes, well, I want it. I'm like, ma'am, you're not understanding me. If I continue to try to pry it up, I may hurt the plant. I may hurt it. It might die. But I want it. I understand that you want it. But I could kill it if I continue. And the son looked at her and she's like, and I want to say they were speaking Russian. I'm honestly not sure. But he had in their, in their language, he was speaking to her, and he was like I could tell he was trying to explain to her, like, ma, if he continues, it's gonna kill the fish. Like, stop. Like, just even I'm like, I kind of thanked him. Like, I gave him this look, like, thank you for explaining it to her, 'cause she clearly wasn't getting it, or she didn't want to get it. Um, I've had that many times where people don't want to hear no. They want to hear, I'm going to give you this animal. I'm going to do this for you. Not, I'm sorry, I can't do it because of this reason. They would rather, it's very weird. For some reason, people don't want to hear the truth. They want the dumbest, they want to give you trouble, basically. Or not that they want to give you trouble. They don't want the answer that you're giving them. They don't like the answer that you're giving them, and they want the answer that they want to hear. That's the problem, unfortunately. I had a woman, another thing too is, there are plenty of people who are just blatantly ignorant when it comes down to animals. Like, I've had a woman tapping on the tank. Now, for those of you that don't know as to why it's such a bad thing, it's actually worse than most people think. It's not as bad, but it is something you don't want to do, because if you tap on the tank, it can stress out the fish to the point to where they won't eat. They don't feel comfortable in their environment. They think they're in danger, and it potentially will kill them because of the stress. So explain it to so this woman's tapping on the tank, I'm like, man, please don't tap on the tank. It stresses out the fish. So she scoffs at me and goes, huh, fish psychology, and walks away. I'm like, what? Fish psychology? No, you stupid ass. It's gonna kill the goddamn fish because they're stressed out. I'm like, I'm sorry, my saltwater tank. Those fish all die. You're gonna pay for every goddamn fish that died because you're stressing them out? People are very ignorant, especially when it comes down to working retail employees of any caliber. Whether it be at Best Buy, whether it be at Staples, GameStop, Petco, regardless of whatever place you're working at, customers are very, very ignorant. They don't care. It's not their job. It's not their place to care. So rather, they're not gonna give you a hard time. They're just not gonna care about giving you an easy time. That's the problem. And like I said, as someone who has worked in retail for, I want to say, I've been working in general since I was 17. I'm 24 now. I'm working retail since 19, so 5 years. I've been in retail for 5 years. And someone who's dealt with pretty much, honestly, I think I've dealt with it all. I've dealt with ignorance. I've dealt with clearly racist assholes. I've dealt with stupidity. If you can imagine, if you've ever seen the show Hardcore Pawn and seen the absurdity that they put up with, that's not far from the truth. Now, that show is exaggerated. It is very exaggerated. But when you consider that as some form of reality, yes, I've dealt with that. I mean, I've had a woman tell her 4-year-old to urinate on my store's window because I couldn't help her. Because she didn't have her ID. By state law, I needed her ID. I don't want to get into specifics of what, because I don't want to allude to where I was working at the time. I put it this way, I don't want to put myself in trouble. That's basically what it is. Am I supposed to continue this place? Am I supposed to go on to a new day? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I'm just going to continue on with this place. So anyway, I didn't, I don't want to allude to where I was, but basically, long story short, she came to my store to do something. I wasn't able to help her because she didn't have the proper paperwork. And instead of being a decent human being and acknowledging, okay, he needs this for his job, this isn't him being an asshole, it's his job, she told her 4-year-old to piss on my store's window and then told me and my boss to suck her dick. That was the event that occurred. This happened maybe 2-3 years ago, and I'm still in shock from it. I still can't believe, every time I tell that story, I'm still shocked that a human being would ever do that. Not even that, just tell your kid to piss on a store's window. Like, what kind of a parent do you have to be to think like that? But anyway, my time at Petco wasn't an awful time. Like, I didn't hate the job, and I'm not gonna ever tell anybody, no, fuck Petco as a company, they're horrible. The company's not the problem. It was the people I was stuck working with. It was the people that I was dealing with. That was the problem. And unfortunately, that's a problem that's never going to get resolved. Because, again, that store has a cult mentality. You're either with them or against them, and if they deem that you're against them, you're the problem. they'll never acknowledge internal affairs as an issue. They'll never sit there and say, well, yeah, I could see where we're unfair and we mistreated our people. At the time, I can see why. Like, I had a second job, and they were paying me for... It was a 40-hour-a-week job, but I was already settled at another job. And I didn't just want to flat-out leave. And I was making 2 paychecks at the same time. I was working 40 hours a week one job. I was working 20 another. I was making a killing. That wasn't money I was just going to give up just because, you know, Petco needed me 40 hours a week. I asked a very simple... Like, I was cooperative. Like, I just asked that they give me Tuesday and Thursday off. Just so that way I could work my other job. My other job was perfectly fine with only having me work Tuesday and Thursday, so that would have worked fine. I virtually would have been giving away all my days off, and I would have been working every single day. But that was a sacrifice I was willing to make. I was perfectly fine with that to keep my, to keep both jobs and keep a steady paycheck flowing. But unfortunately, like I said, cult mentality. They don't care. If you're not with them, you're against them. That's, if you're not for Petco, or at least that Petco per se, you're against it. And I was the problem, so they did everything they could to push me out, and eventually I just said, fuck it, and I quit. I put my 2 weeks in. They were kind of shocked, and at one point, I only had 1 day left, and I was like, dude, I'm not coming in, and my boss gave me shit for it, and I'm like, they're like, I can't believe that you're being unprofessional. I have no need to be professional here. I'm quitting. Today's my last day. I don't know why you're shocked by me looking to quit. I don't know why you're shocked by me suddenly saying, hey, I'm not coming in today because my other job needs me. Don't know why this is stunning to you. I'm sorry that it is. It's stupid shit like that I had to put up with, and I eventually quit. I left that store. I eventually went to Staples, and that's where my Staples stories came from. The whole blowing up a lady's hard drive because she was a cunt, or what the fuck is this? Why do we have this? What is this? Put them on the back. Oh, okay. So this is like if there's a big tank. Okay, cool. And this is the stairs to get up. Okay, all right, that's cool to keep in mind. But anyway, without getting too deep into bullshit, that was the crap I put up with. When it came down to working with animals, I loved it. I loved working with pets. Anytime people would bring in like their German Shepherds or their Huskies or whatever other dogs would come into my store, I loved it. I enjoyed, it was actually kind of part of our training. Like, they wanted you to go up and greet the guests and pet their dogs or their cats or whatever to show that you're friendly, that the point of the job is you only work in a pet store if you like animals, if you enjoy working with them, and I loved it. I don't know if I don't remember saying this, but I worked in 2 pet stores. I worked in Petco, not at the same time. First, I worked in Pet Supplies Plus, which unfortunately closed down just because they didn't know how to market, and my store leader didn't know what the hell she was doing. I digress. But then I also, but then after that I worked at Petco. At Pet Supplies, I remember we had a rose-breasted cockatoo, and before working in animal care, you would never think animals are as smart as they are, as caring, and afterwards, like I said, we had this rose-breasted cockatoo, this bird. It was $1,000 bird, fucking expensive, but it was the friendliest animal I think I've ever met. He'd sit on your shoulder, he'd nuzzle up to you. I taught him to whistle. Anytime we would open the store, like if we were walking in, he'd start screaming because he wanted attention, he wanted to see us. Noisiest bird ever, too. And I remember one time we lost the bird because he decided to just fly. He just decided to just disappear. He's like, okay, fuck it, my wings are good. Because normally when we get birds in, their wings are just clipped. But that doesn't last forever. They do grow back whatever part of that feather it is that allows them to fly. So at one point it was just like, huh, this is back. Bye, guys. And he just fucking took off. And we lost that bird for a good 3 hours. I'm moving bags around, and sure enough, he just pokes his head out of one of the top shelves, looks around, and then ducks back down. I'm like, you sneaky little fucker. I walked over, I picked him up, and I gave him back to my boss, and we took him back to the vet and had his wings clipped again, just so that way he couldn't fly. Because we didn't want to lose him. The last thing we wanted is to lose a $1,000 bird that we could very likely sell to a customer who might be willing to, which we did. We sold it to a nice old lady who, as far as I'm aware, has done nothing but spoil this bird. She's given him hundreds of dollars worth of toys. Apparently, the bird's overweight now. Like, she gives him lots of treats. Like, she loves him. Last I heard, this was a couple of years ago, she spoiled the hell out of that bird and basically treated it like it was her kid. So I'm glad we got him a good home. I'm glad we found him a good home. He was a really sweet bird. Sneaky little shit. I remember there was a time when I looked away. We put hamster bedding in his tank in his cage instead of something else, and he loved it. He was rolling around in it. He was screaming. He was jumping up and down. Like it was like basically putting a kid in a bouncy castle. Loved it. Like I said, working in animal care, it definitely gives you a different perspective. Some people are just stupid, unfortunately, I've learned as well. Some people don't understand. Like, I had someone who, I remember we were arguing with this pet owner. They had a German Shepherd, I believe it was. It was a large breed dog. And the guy, he himself was a vegan. He didn't believe in eating meat. He didn't believe in eating, well, yeah, just that. He didn't believe in eating meat. And he was like, I want to put my dog on an all vegetarian diet. And we're like, that doesn't exist for dogs. Like, you can't, like, that's not healthy. Like, I'm sure there's possibly ways of giving dogs the vitamins that they need while putting them on a vegetarian diet. But look at what the animal is. Look where they descend from, wolves. When was the last fucking time you saw a wolf saying, there's a deer that me and my pet can take down, or there's that lettuce? Which are they gonna choose? We were telling the guy, like, you need to put him on this dog food because it has the essential vitamins and whatnot that they need. Like, they need that meat. They need it. That dog food is meant for the vitamins, for what they need. And this guy's like, no, I want to do this. Like, no, you can't do that. That's not how it works. And eventually it finally clicked in his head. He's like, oh, so dogs can't eat like humans? No, because dogs can't take. And on top of that, it's not easy to shove a pill down a dog's throat unless the dog is actually cooperative. Let's just fill up a few of these tanks. I'm just saying YOLO right now and just dumping a bunch of fish in. But, anyway, speaking, by the way, just because I came across it, yellow tangs, they're like, Finding Nemo wasn't a joke. Yellow tangs are fucking pussies. And I know some people go, okay, dude, come on, it's a fish. You're really gonna call a fish a pussy? No, I shit you not. They love to hide. There were plenty of times back at Petco where I'd go to clean out a tank, or I would go to do something. It would be a long tank, too, at least a 40-gallon. And I'd stick my hand in, just start cleaning one side of the tank. And all the other fish, they would just kind of sit there, stare at me. They're like, what the hell's this guy doing? They'd kind of keep their distance. The yellow tang, he did not want to come out for nothing. Even if you walk by the tank, he'd just duck under cover. He would hide. Eventually, we sold him, and someone else got him. And we got another yellow tang, and sure enough, they did the same fucking thing. Tangs do not like to be social. They hide. What's your problem? Did you die? Water temperature too low. Really? Is this not a heater? Okay. I'll put another heater on. Fuck it. YOLO. Where's the heaters? You need another heater. I was just blatantly ignoring these guys. What's your problem? Okay, you need heat. You need heat. Heat. That should about do it. Yeah. Nope. Wait, I'm stupid. There we go. And where else blocked off? Nope, these are all good. These are all good. Cool, now I can fit another tank there if I want. When do I unlock new fish? Or better yet, when do I unlock new shit? Like bigger tanks? I haven't really unlocked much. Is there like a... Oh. Huh. Well, I don't give a fuck what customers think. I never did. And that much is true. I know it's kind of shitty to say this. I don't have the biggest opinion of customers because unfortunately they're kind of dumb half the time. They do stupid shit. Okay. Water temperature's too low for you too, I guess. Unfortunately, I've had plenty of situations like just one last story before I end it today. Okay, I guess you need another... I thought water temperature was good for all these guys. I guess not. I had a guy come into my current job looking to buy Switch games for their kid. In their defense, it was an only child that they had, so they didn't know much about video games, if at all. And I will sit there and happily explain everything that I know. I will give you the most to my, I will give you the most knowledge to my ability. I will tell you everything that I can possibly tell you. Only if you're actually listening. Now, what I mean by that is, I had this person come in, and the guy wanted a wireless controller for the Switch. And I said, okay, no worries. So I showed him the Switch Pro controller, and he goes, okay, well, that's $80. Do you have anything cheaper? I have this one battery-operated one that's $50. Oh, but I don't want batteries. Then there's the Nintendo one that's rechargeable for $80. But I don't want to spend $80. Then you have the battery-operated one for $50. But I don't want batteries. Well, those are your options. But I don't want batteries, but I want to pay $80. I'm like, well, I'm not changing the fucking price. I'm not lowering the price if that's what you're asking. So, pick between... And they're going back and forth, the wife and the husband. I'm like, it's not rocket science. It's a fucking controller. Do you want to spend more money or do you care to use battery? What do you want to do? And I'm not going to lie, I got a little frustrated because it's like I had a whole line of people. They're holding up the line. More and more people kept coming in. I'm like, it's not rocket science. Just pick a fucking controller. That's what I'm talking about. He's asking me my opinion. He's asking me what I think. But then in the same token, he's not cooperating. He's not listening. He's not actually listening to what I'm trying to tell him. And rather, he wants what he wants and not what is needed. Or rather, I'm being unrealistic. And that's my problem with customers. You get your customers that will listen. You get your customers that are actually looking for help who will receive your help and be thankful for it. And then you have customers that want what they want and they won't want anything else. And if you can't give them what they want, you're the asshole and you should be fired because you can't do your job. That's what I've learned about retail. But anyway, guys, that's what we're going to leave it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you like it, leave a like. Dislike if you dislike it. Please comment. Hell, if you've got any work stories yourselves, if you work retail yourself and you've dealt with bullshit, please leave it in the comments. I'm always open to, stories. I'm always curious about what other people deal with because retail's crazy, especially with this virus going on. You got people doing crazy shit to retail employees. GameStop employees are being threatened, given death threats just because they won't open their stores. It's all over Reddit. So, guys, stories, leave them for me. Let me know what you're thinking, or let me know what you're dealing with. I'll see you guys around the next one. Thank you. Have a good night.